Good afternoon. In this video, I will break down every single defense mechanism that has been employed to make Clinton look better. I'm referring to Hillary Clinton, not President Clinton, who, if she wins, I'll have to call President Bill Clinton or Clinton 42. And it's very realistic she will win. And I'm doing this because I believe what I'm going to say hasn't been said all at once. People make little comments here and there about why she's problematic, but I feel a need to address her in a way that others haven't, and for an amount of time that other people have not spent on her. And sure enough, after this, I don't intend to make any more videos focused on her or anything related to her in the news. Well, maybe the news, but apart from that, nothing just in particular. Now, one of the biggest reasons that she has had any type of support from women, and I'm saying that in particular, I mean women of all races, women of just every creed in this country, is because she faces the prospect of being the first female president. And that is something to be happy about. That's something to be glad and be grateful for, that we have a front runner who is a woman in a country that's been built on patriarchy for quite some time now. In fact, since its inception, really. I think that's something that is tremendous in showing progression. Even though her problem is the same that Obama has. You have one. Yeah, you have one, but where are the other ones? So I understand that rationale as something for why a person would in particular be attracted to her. However, the attraction should stop short when one sees her policies. Now, I've mentioned this before and I'm going to mention it again. She has flip-flopped on issues, I almost want to say more than Romney, who received a bad time for changing his positions and changing his ways. But if you really look at his record, I don't see it as being much better nor worse than hers. And kind of going through that, and also seeing how she's bought by corporations. Say what you want about Sanders and Trump's policies, which I've heard criticism of both. They're not bought. They're not purchased. She's literally the only one of these three major candidates still running that is just, she's a sellout, is the best way to put it. She has been bought in the same way that many of her predecessors have been bought, that are seeking the offices that she sought. And I don't see how someone can claim to be progressive, which is what the Young Turks are, and which is, I think, a large part of why they've alienated her as well, and support someone who is pretty much the same as the older male candidates, except she has a different genitalia. So then when you're faced with this, her flipping her positions and being corrupt, as well as just these other negligent acts such as Benghazi and Whitewater and Lewinsky Gate, all of that, I question the rationale one would have in supporting someone at that point. People can make as many defenses as they want, but if you realize those things are wrong and you just cannot stand the stuff that she's done in the past with these scandals, why would you support someone just because they're a woman? That's literally your only reason now, because you just disagreed. If you are disagreeing on those three things, her handling of them, and just agreeing with me that those are facts about her as a candidate and as a politician, why would you still support her? And also, let me throw this out here. This is by no means an endorsement of Trump or Sanders. I prefer Sanders to both of these two. I'm not big on either one. Trump's only on my bad side really for that Muslim ban thing, which is whatever. And really, I'm stressing that point so that a person who watches this doesn't go, oh, he's got an agenda. He's trying to rally my support for this other person. That's not the case at all. But one must realize that you really do not want to play around when it comes to who you put in the White House. And to her credit, she has experience. But ask yourself, what can you name from that experience? What bills did she pass? What laws did she pass? Say what you want about President Obama. You have a healthcare program, which people disagree with. You have the Iran deal, which people also will disagree with as well. But the point is, you have policies that actually were made and that are memorable and people can recall. Name one policy she's had that you can think of. And I'm not talking about as First Lady, which wasn't even an elected office. And I'm kind of disqualifying it right now because it's a position that she really, I don't believe she worked for. I'm going to put it that way. She didn't go out and rally support for her running for that position. She rallied support for her husband running for president, and that came as a result of him winning that election. But I'm specifically pointing to the time she was in the Senate and when she was Secretary of State as rationale for why I'm kind of coming at her in this way, because I don't see how, what is that, 13 years from 2001 to 2013, about 12 years of just being in office nonstop, elected in an appointment. And I'm also, Secretary of State is a position I think is much more serious than First Lady. I'll throw it out there. That's not to say First Lady is useless, but it certainly isn't to the magnitude of Secretary of State. Her only accomplishment I can think of in that combined 12 years of Senate and being Secretary is being more traveled than any other one in the history of the country, which I don't even think should be a surprise at this point because we've had so many advancements in modern technology that it shouldn't come across as strange that she went to all those different countries. And lastly, because I don't want this to run on forever, and I'm saying you as a prospective Hillary Clinton supporter, have to know why you support someone. You have to understand your rationale, or else that person doesn't deserve your vote. I remember when Cruz was still in the race, I supported him for the Republican nomination because I wanted to see his plans of abolishing the IRS carry out. And I also was interested in what he planned to do for jobs. Same thing with Sanders, but I'm not sure if socialism can work. And again, I don't believe in, they said insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. Well, Clinton's been campaigning nonstop on, hey, I'm Obama 2.0, so you're going to get the same results most likely. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. But I don't think I am. And not only that, I can't think of I've spoken to multiple people about her, and they've always tried to sway me, just as Trump supporters have tried to sway me. I can't be swayed because to say that I have done my research would be an understatement, I believe. I'm not someone who dislikes someone just to be cool. I've given multiple reasons. I've looked into all of this, and I may not be good at many things, but one thing I'm certainly knowledgeable of is the realm of politics. And I know her positions, and I know they are opportunist at best and insulting at worst. I would feel very insulted if I were someone who was, say, homosexual, and she chose to support me getting married for political expediency. It's part of the whole reason I was into both Sanders and Cruz. The two are consistent. Say what you want about their positions, they stay the same. And I have yet to see the two. And that's not to say people can't change their positions, but this is a 69-year-old woman. 68, my mistake. The point I'm making is she's had plenty of time to do it. I don't believe you're just going to wake up one day and switch over. And I really don't believe that if you really felt the way you did, you would wait until all of these decades have passed. The Defense of Marriage Act was back in the 90s. 2013, you're just now saying you support same-sex marriage. Right, okay, I'll believe that. No, I won't believe that. It's ridiculous. So the bottom line is, I don't see any reason anyone would support her other than they want a female president. And her candidacy has a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it's proven women can get to a position of being able to run for president and realistically having a chance to win. On the other hand, she did the same thing in 2008 and did not have as much baggage as she does now. And because of that baggage, I'm almost certain it's going to be more difficult for a woman to run, because they'll inevitably face comparisons to Clinton just for the fact that they are a woman. I think she has genuinely hurt potential female presidential candidates. Not even just at that level, but also senatorial or gubernatorial. She's hurt them, I believe. And that's really the saddest thing about this, and something I don't enjoy speaking about and I don't enjoy talking about, but it's the truth. She has really done a disservice to them. So thank you for watching and have a good day.